Detroit Homecoming has been made possible in part by the Ford Foundation. Across 8 decades, our mission has sought to reduce poverty and injustice, strengthen democratic values, promote international cooperation, and advance human achievement. We believe in the inherent dignity of all people. And by Urban Science, specializing in challenges others think are too big to take on. Disciplined by process, fueled by data, accelerated by technology.
And now we do have a couple of final closing things here. First of all, we're going to be talking with some of our homecoming alumni about what they've really done as a result of this experience. And I know that the crowd is kind of, some people wanted to talk to the Motown people and left the room, but we are capturing all of these outcomes and are sharing it with all of our alumni and the prospective folks that we're trying to invite for next year. The dates are in your program book for next year in late September. But first, let's hear from some of the people who've actually done something as a result, and we're videotaping this as well, so we'll be able to share with a larger audience than what we have here in this room. First, I'd like to ask Justin Anderson to come up and talk a little bit about what he has done as a result of Detroit Homecoming. Justin.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Justin Anderson. I'm a director for Solidia Capital, and we're a seed stage venture fund based out of New York City. I'm from Detroit, born and raised. And I was introduced to Homecoming from Mary many, many years ago. I've been to all 6, and I had 2 agenda items for Homecoming. It was to inform my leadership team that Detroit's a serious market for startups, and the second objective was to find suitable investable startups that I could bring into our portfolio. And so about 3 years ago, one of the homecoming events was a pitch competition. We met a company by the name of Allergy through that. Allergy is a epinephrine auto-injector put in a cell phone. And I was really impressed by the presentation. We ended up forging a great relationship. Solidia Capital, my firm, was his first institutional investor, and from that, they went on to be a part of the Backstage Accelerator program, and their CEO, Javier, was actually just mentioned as a 40 under 40 for Cranes, so we've been able to kind of really help him launch their business. So that's one of the investments. As a result, we now have 4 Detroit portfolio companies, and we're working on 2 more. But it's because of Homecoming and our ability to bring the networks. There's a lot of potent network opportunities in this room, and so I encourage everyone to have that conversation, follow up, and do the work, and you can really, push some change here in the city of Detroit.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Justin. Next, more on the art side, I think, is Rick French. He has his own public relations firm, but is very involved in the arts community, and Rick's going to tell you about his outcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm a 6-year attendee of this event, and wanted to thank Mary and Cranes for the incredible work that they do here. Each year it just gets better and better. But I think it was one of the first year or two that we had an event at Dime, right? When Dime had just opened. I think it was the first year. So Dime is the Detroit Institute of Music Education, for those that haven't experienced it yet. Incredible academic institution that trains musicians and composers and so on in everything from sound engineering to composition. And I have the privilege of serving on 5 music-related boards, everything from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Grammys to an organization called the Buddy Holly Education Foundation. That is an organization that operates worldwide, and it operates in the image and likeness of Buddy Holly. Buddy is he was very forward thinking in terms of its composition and working with young songwriters and so on, even though he himself was young. Anyway, long story short, through the introduction to Dime 6 years ago, I kept a relationship up, and the Buddy Holly Education Foundation has 6 songwriting symposiums that it holds around the world. It really brings the top songwriters together along with students to work with them and try to develop their skill sets. So next year we will bring one of those to Detroit. We've had a discussion to bring Motown into this, the Motown Museum. They've pledged their facilities and support. So we're looking at 2 dates, either May of 2020 or possibly late September. And if we can align it to make it work with Detroit Homecoming, we will. So we bring in people like, I'll give you an example, Liz Rose, who's written most of Taylor Swift's hit songs. We'll bring in Beth Chapin-Carpenter, who worked with, she wrote This Kiss, for example, for Faith Hill. We bring in people like that. Chris Difford, the lead singer of Squeeze, curates it for us. And so Brian May of Queen is one of our ambassadors. He works with us. So we will bring some of the top songwriters in the world to Detroit. We'll align them with the students at Dime Detroit. We will give scholarships to those students to participate in the event. And we hold a week-long series of workshops, festivals, and concerts. So every single night, the songwriters will perform some of their hit songs along with what the student will write with them. So if we can make this work next year, it would be wonderful if we could align it. I have to work with the artists, with their schedule to see what can work, but it is a major, major event. We do them in Glastonbury, we do them in Austin, and we'll have one in Detroit, and we hope to make it an annual event where it ends up on the calendar every single year. And really, it was a result of the first introduction 6 years ago. So hopefully everyone will get to experience it next year. And by the way, who else out there has also, I know we're just an example of outcomes, but who else, if you have something that you've invested in Detroit, raise your hand. Awesome. A number of you. Thank you to all of you who have given back. So thank you, Mary.
There's a group of folks in Los Angeles who have gotten together, and they have a couple of projects that they're working on. And even though there's a large number of them, we're going to try and briefly explain some of the cool ideas that they're generating from LA.
I've been at every Detroit homecoming, and one of the things that we've really found is not only all the great information that's here, but the networking. So very quickly, about a year and a half ago, waiting for our Ubers at LAX, Kenyatta Berry approached me. She said, "You were at Detroit Homecoming, weren't you? We really need to do more here." And I said, "That's what I've been thinking." So we started an LA Expat group. We've now had about 4 meetings. We have a forum of different ideas that have come out of it, and there are 2 that we're bringing to you today. And the first is Michael Scherer. We knew LA is full of business and full of creatives and entertainment. And both of these ideas reflect, or each reflect part of that industry. So Michael Scherer is first, and then we'll talk about the second group.
Hi, everyone. Great to be back. It's my 4th homecoming, and it's amazing. The last 2 years, I think it's gotten more and more fun because I see more and more people that I've met through homecoming. And that's really one of the connections. We were talking about this at the dinner party last night. One of the things that makes it so much easier for us to do business is not only do we have this connection of Detroit, but this connection of homecoming has made it much faster for us to have that credibility, that trust with each other. When we got together at Sarah's house, one of the things that we talked about was what are the top things that we're all really passionate about? And education came to the top of the list. So we were introduced through Medvis, thank you Medvis if you're in the room, to a group called Minds Matter Detroit. And Minds Matter, this is the 14th city that Minds Matter is in. I believe we have 28 high school students now in the 4th year. Every Saturday during the school year, the students go to the University of Detroit Mercy They have 3 classrooms. They work with mentors. They work with coaches. And these are kids who are high performing but come from a low income environment. And they have the opportunity to get the coaching and mentoring to not only get into a 4-year university program, but to succeed in the 4-year program and really succeed in life. And it's amazing to see the transition of these kids. So this is something that we've embraced. Last August, I was invited to join the board, and I'm very proud of that. In addition to that, and I'm conscious of time, so we have a number of different initiatives I think we're also trying to push along. I've got a passion for real estate. I started a real estate investment group, and the main focus is here in Detroit. So we're looking to acquire multifamily properties, possibly some single families. But the idea really is, I'm not interested in, while I love all of the development downtown, not interested in necessarily all this Class A, but how do we provide clean, safe, affordable living in the neighborhoods? And that's really the mission, while also being able to provide a return to our investors. So you're going to be hearing more of that hopefully over the next year or two. And if anybody's interested, happy to continue that conversation. So I'm going to pass the mic.
I like to stand.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, wake up. You're all going to die. Anyways, I'm going to thank you, Mary, so much for this wonderful conference, right? This is seriously one of the best things I've been to. This is my 2nd year, right? And I want to say to you that Detroit rocks. I go out running every morning at 6 o'clock, and I was talking to the policeman at the corner of Woodward and Jefferson, and I said, isn't this effing great what's going on in Detroit? And he goes, you know what? I hope they keep going, right? Why not go off of this thing, Detroit Homecoming, and do something that's more B2C, like an unbelievable festival that connects all the people in Detroit to what's happening and show the world what's going on here. And there's some great festivals that I've been part of, like South by Southwest, Con Lion, right, where, Twitter was launched, Pinterest was launched, right? The same thing can happen in this city. The one thing that we want to do here is do an unbelievable event showcasing the best of music, film, art, tech in Detroit. Start small, come off and do like a one-day thing in 2020, have really good partners, good brands involved. I know so many people that want to invest in that type of event. Not a festival like Coachella or Glastonbury, but one that really showcases all the talent that exists in this city. And as you've seen over the last couple of days, or you've been coming to Detroit Homecoming, the great thing of what's happened in Motown, from the invention of punk rock from Iggy Pop, right, to, techno. I mean, this city rocks. And we have to do this, take this mission. We have great people involved to make this mission of showing the best of how Detroit's really coming out as an unbelievable 21st century. And that's what we want to create. An event that comes out of maybe Detroit Homecoming, comes out at the same time. We keep you people here. Everybody celebrates what is Detroit. And that's what we want to do. Because this is a fucking great city.
Vince speak about this. It's really something I want to add to Vince that when we do this, when it comes about, it's also going to be very free for the community, for the neighborhoods. We not only want Detroiters involved in most of it, it's coming out of LA, but we want Detroiters involved. We want to make it free. We want events that they can come throughout the neighborhoods. It's really important. I want to introduce Andrina Hale and Tara Gardner, who are also working with us on this. And we hope to give you more information soon. And then for any of you who are in LA, I said this last year and I mean it, we're after you. We want you to join our group. We want you to be there and help us with more and more ideas that come out of the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks. And one note about the LA group, Vince didn't really truly introduce himself, but all the bios of all the LA folks are in the book. But I would just say that this idea that they have that is still ideating, I think has a lot of legs. There's a lot of opportunity here. And with the entertainment and background that Adrina has and Vince has, and there are so many other people. We have a producer, and you, of course, but we have so many other people who are here this year. Paul Blair, who has produced for Lady Gaga, Lauren Black, who produced the film Manchester by the Sea. There's a lot of connections that Detroit Homecoming has in that industry. You heard it earlier this morning with Nancy Tellem. We have a chance to create, not duplicate South by Southwest, but build Detroit's own version of something to, as Vince said, show the world. So stay tuned for more on that. And in closing, in terms of the outcomes, lots of people do lots of different things. They mentor companies, they invest in real estate, they write checks to philanthropy, and some people come home. And I just wanted to introduce Paula Carethers. If she is still, yeah, here she is, because her story is truly a homecoming story. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you, and I think I might be the last, one of the last things on the agenda, so I'll move quickly. So my story is my husband and I have been in New York for the past 16 years. We came to Homecoming last year. Just felt like there was so much energy and so much happening here. Over the years, we had thought about coming home several times because we have so much family here and we have so much love for this city. And frankly, one of the things that really shifted our thinking was, as I thought about what we would do when we came back here, I felt like I needed to see sort of a 10-year, 15-year projection in my career. What can I do that then will stem to something else that we could stay here and not feel like we had to go back to other cities where I was in real estate and had a great career in real estate in New York. And I really felt like in the last year that has happened. There's so much happening in this city. There are so many people sort of coming back from places. I think, this conference, Homecoming, is incredible in connecting folks. But even, the 6 months that I've been here and traveling back and forth, we moved here a month ago, but I've been going back and forth for the past 6 months. I'm meeting so many great people from the coasts and from other areas who are bringing all of that talent back here and starting businesses. And I see that there is really tremendous opportunity. And so, one of the things, I'm working on the Michigan Central train station development for Ford Motor Company and bringing some of my expertise in large-scale development and affordable housing here to Ford and into Southwest Detroit. My husband, who is a designer and has been doing storytelling and marketing and advertising, is coming back. And one of the things that he's starting is a way to train young people to stay in the cities. So as we look at what we've done, and one of the reasons we left, I originally left 20 years ago, was looking for opportunity to do the type of development that wasn't happening here, and for Jarek to have the opportunity to go and do design in other places that he wasn't getting here in Detroit. And so one of the things that he's looking at doing is starting a training program here so that we can start keeping some of that talent. And I think, with the Motown folks that were just up here, and we see so much creative talent, a lot of the LA folks that were just up here are in music or in design. I think part of that is now stemming as we bring back, people like me in real estate. I think finding opportunities to create that synergy for young people to also stay and find great opportunities here in the city and train them for the jobs that we're attracting some of the business from the coast is I think something that we're seeing that's growing and a real good opportunity. So I hope that there will be other expats that will join us. I think there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration here in the city. I'm just blown away by how much is happening. I think it's, once I came back, just seeing all of the energy and all the development has been really spectacular. And we think we've made a great move moving our family back here. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Paula. And now I would like to welcome back to the stage Jim Hayes, who, just to remind you, this was his idea in the first place. And just to wrap up Detroit Homecoming 6, even though there's still tracks, some of us will be going to different things all weekend long, but thank you, Jim, for this big idea. And again, thanks to all of you for coming to Detroit Homecoming 6.
Thank you, Mary. I think it's my task to tell everybody that now you can go home. But obviously, pretty much everybody's gone home. But before we ring down the curtain on this wonderful event, I want to thank a couple of very important groups. First of all, another word of thanks to our sponsors who make this possible, truly. And then a word of thanks to all of our speakers who have gone out of their way and spent some time to prepare and to share some of their wisdom, their thoughts, and their insight with us, our speakers. And then there's our team, which is headed by the very gifted Mary Kramer. And Mary needs no introduction, but she deserves a tremendous amount of thanks. And Mary heads a team with many, many people on it. But the couple of key people are Colleen Robart, who makes everything happen. Where is Colleen? The master of all things. Working with Colleen and Mary are Keenan Covington and Medvis Jackson, two great aides and very important people. This year, Kristen Bull helped out enormously with the tracks and with the program. She deserves a great thing. And then I see in the corner there our wonderful friend and one of our SIGWebs, Adam Finkel, who also deserves an enormous amount of talent. But when all is said and done, the great thanks really goes to all you expats for your energy, your enthusiasm, your commitment, your belief, and the fact that you're with us year after year after year. Thank you very much. Now you can all go home, and thanks very much. Have a safe trip home. Bye.